under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll take public comments on agenda items. None? So now I'm going to call for an executive session to discuss personnel.
A motion, all those.
Executive session, all in favor?
Aye.
And now we'll resume our regular session. Okay. Reports of the supervisor. Okay. I got an email today from New York State DEC. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Commissioner Basil Sagos today issued a drought watch for the entire state of New York following consultation with the State Drought Management Task Force and federal partner agencies. This is the first time this has been done since 2002. There's no, it's a watch, it's an advisory, so there's no statewide mandatory water restrictions or anything as of yet, but I will keep you posted, and please don't waste water. We don't have the rain. Now I want to read a letter from Gloria Meyer. Dear Supervisor Tompkins, it is with a very heavy heart that I have heard of a resignation of Rob Mattis. Rob has been an immense part of the senior citizens group. He endlessly worked for each and every one of us to make sure that he did the best job possible, and we all appreciate his dedication. I personally would like it to go on record to say that Rob will truly be missed. Over the past 8 to 9 years, he not only helped the seniors, but the community, young and elderly as a whole. I formally request that the town of Unionville acknowledges the hard work and dedication Rob has given us all. Please share my sentiment with the board and community. Sincerely, Gloria Meyer and family. Now I'd like to thank all the park staff, Jessica, Stephanie, Tom St. Ange, Tom Tierney, Jake, and all the Time Warner Park employees. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I don't know everyone's names yet, for stepping up and doing such a fabulous job in light of the recent resignation of the Park and Rec Director. Next, I met with Joanne Knapp from Crosswinds Equestrian Center on South Parliament. On August 14th, they're hosting a non-for-profit fundraiser, bike ride, walk, run. The Sparrow's Nest is a local non-for-profit organization that is putting it on. She had a concern about the road because of the 55 closure. They do this every year. Every year they hire sheriffs to man the roads. This year she's really scared. The state troopers, Dan McMorris, is stepping up and volunteering. Him and I think 4 other troopers are volunteering their services for that day. It's like 5 hours, 4 hours, and just to help out with the roads. Her idea was maybe we could lower the speed limit or shut down for local traffic only between 8 and 11 that day from South Parliament, well, 17 Crosswinds to Wistman Road. I told her that we would discuss it and we would try and work on that, and that the highway superintendent may be able to help her with some of these things. And I want to bring it to your attention about that.
You want input now or will I go up there?
You can discuss it when you get up there if you want.
Well, I can offer some input on that. I believe it was last year that we kicked around the idea of reducing the speed limit on South Parliament Road, and the state didn't authorize it. Any reduction in speed limit has to be approved by the state. I don't believe that even if we were to submit a request today, that it would be
Done by then.
exactly by the time of her event. The other end of it is, you can lower the speed limit all you want, unless we're gonna
Enforce
be
it.
enforcing it, it's not gonna have any effect. I don't feel that 40 miles an hour is an unsafe speed through there. I travel it daily. But I do believe that driveway she has is in a bad spot. I was told a couple of years ago that was supposed to be a temporary situation, and she was gonna put a second driveway in that had better sight distance. And I'm curious what the status of that is.
She did mention that to me, that she had spoke with Mr. Wisman and George Kolb about it, and she's seriously thinking, working on it, and I guess they marked a position for the new driveway, but for the time being, it's not gonna be done for this August 14th triathlon, and it's gonna be a dangerous spot.
I'll just come up. I spoke with her yesterday, and she wanted to, like you said, possibly close it off at her entrance. But if Dan's sitting there, and tractor trailers are coming down the road, I know it's a Saturday, but you never know what you're gonna get.
It's a Sunday.
It's Sunday, well, still.
Yeah.
My suggestion to her was have Dan go to the other end, down farther towards Brownsville and 55, and sit there. And if he's a uniformed cop, I think he's got the authority to check IDs and say, okay, you know, where do you live? Or if somebody says, no, I'm just cutting through, use the detour. Go turn that way. You know, I don't see why he couldn't do that. A speed limit, like Steve says, we cannot regulate it. That's state. And
I think if she puts up a lot of signage,
That's
also,
the
that
thing.
there's a triathlon going on,
Yeah.
please don't use the, you know.
Yeah.
I think if she puts up signs that say what's going on, maybe it'll keep people from going through also. But, you know, I told her that we were willing to discuss it and work with her and see whatever she
I
needs.
think that is a 2-hour period.
Three,
2 or
8
3,
to
okay.
11.
Okay,
Yeah,
3
well,
hour period.
we've had that, similar situations in the park. If they put out enough signs that there are runners in the road and put cones out, people will slow down.
Yeah.
If we have state police that are helping out, like you said, Dan McMorris and his associates, I think it'll be very adequate. Because people, you know, will see the signs and slow down and see the runners. Trying to do speed limit, like you said, it's not gonna happen.
I know,
Yeah.
it takes a long time to change a speed
Especially for a
limit.
one-day event.
Yeah, well, I think she was thinking more in the lines of changing it for good.
I mean, if I have the time and I can offer my assistance, I may go down to Wisman, and if somebody asks, you know, I live here, and I know who they are, yeah, go ahead. And just take it easy. But if I get a tractor trailer, if I get some big truck, or somebody's cutting through, I'm gonna turn them around. You know, and we'll, we're more worried about the safety of these people, and it's a good foundation that they're doing it for. So,
And I think all the volunteers we can get to help out with this would be nice.
yeah. I mean, I'll volunteer, we can donate a bunch of cones for the day, you know, and everything's labeled, and we'll make sure we get our stuff back. You know, if nobody has a problem with that, I mean, it's for a good cause. So, you know, we'll get some
I
bells.
think signage and police presence is gonna be her best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and I will call her and let her know. All right. Okay, I think that's it for my reports. Steve?
Been continuing to work with INF Associates on the LED conversion. I forwarded the final draft to everyone today that includes all buildings in one proposal rather than the 3 separate ones that we had. The projection is still to be paid off within 2 years. And the finance program that they offer is very attractive. What they have done is calculated the amount of energy savings that we will see and put a dollar amount on that. We will continue to pay our electric bill at the full amount, and then they will take the difference as the payment towards the equipment that we're getting from them. And again, expect that to be paid off within 2 years. And from that point on, then we will see, you know, that money
The
as
savings.
savings.
So is that why they refer to it as a lease rather than a purchase?
Right, it's just a terminology with the bank.
Okay, so-
He told me what they're doing is just a soft credit check
Okay,
on the town's
Yeah.
finances, and that's
all right,
the application that they use for that. You could look at it as a lease to purchase type program, but it isn't a true lease.
okay, because that was my only concern, that we
Right.
would be paying for 2 years and not own anything, and we'd always be paying. So
Right,
in 2
no.
years,
Right.
we're
In 2
paying
years,
full,
it's paid off.
and we've basically spent the same amount we would have with buying the full amount of electric.
Right,
Correct.
and there's no out-of-pocket money.
Great, sounds like a win-win.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have Ryan fill out that paperwork tomorrow, and we'll get moving on that. Karina?
Oh, I have one more
Oh,
thing.
I'm
Go
sorry.
I did send you all the letter I'd drawn up about the traffic situation. Dave responded on it that he'd like to move forward with putting that on town letterhead. I'd like to do that sooner rather than later, if, we're in
Do you
agreement
have a
there.
copy of it so you can read it?
I don't have a copy of it here.
I do. Do you want to read it, or do you
I
want
can
me to
read
read
it,
it?
sure. Okay, I wasn't clear on who this would be addressed to, but it starts out as having received numerous complaints from residents and several town board members making observations of substantially higher traffic on our local roads since the beginning of the Route 55 Jackson Creek Bridge replacement and resulting detour. We're requesting that New York DOT revisit the impact of this detour on our local neighborhoods. We are aware that there was a traffic study done prior to the start of construction where counters were placed on South Parliament Road, and would like to see a second count done at the same location. It is our belief the numbers will be significantly higher and show the official detour is not working. In fact, there is so much traffic on our local roads it has become necessary to post signs directing motorists out of the neighborhood. We feel the signage for this project is misleading at best. Heading westbound on 55, motorists first encounter an electronic message board that states, "Road closed at Cunningham, follow detour." With this initial message, you've given the motorists the first impression that they can travel to Cunningham Drive unimpeded. The second sign states, "Road closed, no through traffic, turn left for detour." Across the intersection, there is a small single barrier with a small sign that states that the bridge is out and local businesses are open. More effective messages would be road closed ahead, follow posted detour on the first message board, and road closed, all through traffic must turn left, with a sequential left arrow at the bottom on the second. The eastbound traffic from Cunningham Drive being at a minimum, the eastbound left turn lane could be blocked with barriers stating local traffic only to better get the point across that the road is closed. On eastbound 55, there's only one message board stating road closed at Wistman, follow detour. Again, giving the impression that traffic may travel to Wistman Road. A small detour sign is on the right at the intersection, and a small barrier across the large intersection stating that the local businesses are open. This traffic is ignoring the detour at an even higher rate than the westbound. The solution would be to change the message board, the message on the first board to state road closed ahead, follow detour, followed by a second sign being added to close the Route 82 intersection to state, close to the Route 82 intersection to state road closed, all through traffic must turn right, followed by a right sequential arrow at the bottom. Again, with Route 55 westbound traffic being at a minimum, the intersection at the intersection of Route 82, the westbound left turn lane could be blocked with barriers stating local traffic only. This would better serve to get the attention of motorists. There are no signs on County Route 21 stating Route 55 westbound is closed. There are no signs on Route 82 stating Route 55 eastbound is closed. All of these deficiencies result in a detour being ignored and unauthorized traffic on our local roads. This creates a dangerous condition for both our residents and those using our roads as a detour.
Very nice. very thorough.
Okay, so should we send this on to
I'd like to. yeah.
Carolyn Ryan?
Fast as possible.
Well, you
I'll make
emailed
a
it.
motion that we go ahead and do that.
You emailed it to me,
Yes,
and I can forward it to her.
I'd like to see it on town letterhead
Okay,
as an
okay,
official request from the board.
all right.
I'll second the motion.
Town board discussion, huh? All in favor?
Aye. Thanks very much, Steve.
Okay.
So I'm just, for my portion, going to discuss the pool. Over the last, even the week before our recreation director left, we have some pool issues. Brand new this year, swimming lessons were extended from 12 to 12:45, which meant that was going to impact the residents because our pool opens for residents from 12 to 7. So Patty and I both became aware of this prior to the opening of the season, and we did discuss it with Mr. Mattis. And he assured us, actually the aquatics director was present at that meeting, and he assured us that Malia would be able to rope off an area so that residents could kind of use half and we could have swim lessons in half, just for that 45 minutes of shared time. Unfortunately, what happened though, where swim lessons were allowed to be booked from 9 a.m. to 12:45 at such a increased rate than in the past, that there physically was no way other than allowing the kiddie pool to be open, which, you know, if your child is 12, they probably don't want to go in the kiddie pool, to allow residents in. We had the lifeguards who came on, we have lifeguards specifically for swim lessons, and then we have lifeguards that come on staff for the 12 to 7 shift. And we had those lifeguards available to watch residents, but we didn't physically have room. Apparently in the first camp session, this wasn't as big a deal the first 2 weeks, but it did become a big deal over these past 2 weeks. So we've had lots of residents' complaints, several through email and several by phone. So that has been addressed. I did meet with the aquatics director as well as one of the camp counselors. Shelley Knight actually runs the largest camp that we have with 120 kids at the traditional camp, to try and figure out how we could kind of rearrange things through the morning, because we had to at least have some part of the pool for people to get in. So there has been some rumor, so I want to quell the rumor for residents. The pool hours did not change. I guess residents have spread the rumors amongst themselves that the pool hours changed and it now opens at 1. It would require a town board decision because it's in policies, it's in everything that the pool hours are 12 to 7. They are indeed 12 to 7. For the remainder of this year, while camp is in place starting Monday, it will be 4 more remaining weeks, 2 different sessions. During that time, pool use will be shared between residents and campers. We have it changed though, starting in session 3 for camp, that most of the pool will be available for residents. The only portion of the pool that will not be available for residents is the very shallow well that's in one corner that is 3 feet, and the wall that is also 3 to 3.5 feet that holds the current basketball net. So until 12:45, there will be swimmers over in that area. But there will be a lap lane available, a dive well available, mid to deep, as well as kiddie pool. There is a full staff on, so it does have to be shared for the remainder of this year. The town board and the new recreation director will look at next year how we can address that, because that obviously can't continue. But it was a rumor. The pool hours have not been changed. It has been addressed. I do apologize for the 2 weeks that it became very difficult and we had to dance around a bit. I'm sure the residents are actually happy today because I think it was trip day for the camp, so I think they could get in at 12. So that has definitely been addressed, and I just want to quell that. You can certainly reach out to me. I am the liaison for recreation, and then we can put you in touch with the new recreation coordinator as well.
Thank you. Okay, I spent some time at the park trying to help figure out our plan of action in lieu of the sudden departure of our recreation director, and our supervisor will be giving you the results of some of those discussions shortly. Also, I've been reviewing our town employee handbook, which we all agree needs to be looked at, updated, and I've been reading through other towns and other sources online, and be working on that for a while to try to get us current to where we should be on that.
Thank you, John. Okay, reports of departments. Highway?
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna hand these out to you. Hello.
Thank you.
Report for June and some of July. Installed 300 feet of culvert pipe in Meadow Ridge along with 5 basins so far. My little spell check there, huh? Did some drainage work in South Parliament. Pulled and replaced a culvert pipe and cleaned some ditch line on Barmar Road. Cleaned a culvert and ditch line on West Clove Mountain. Did some roadside mowing. Picked up debris from a tree that fell across Ricks Road. Serviced the backhoe. Repaired the charging system in the roller, which required pulling the whole motor out and every wire and hydraulics, whatever thing was, anything that was in there. Welded D-rings in a backhoe bucket and the 2 steel road plates so we can pick them up and move them easier. Put new batteries in truck 7 and did 3 driveway inspections. I got a letter from the state. Governor Cuomo must have been feeling a little generous. We got an extra $22,000 for our CHIPS money.
You sure it's from New York State?
Yeah, right. And moving on to the 284 agreement that I handed you guys. I know that I have to have this thing in within a certain amount of time, and I'm late with it. And I'm asking you guys if you guys can, go ahead and still vote on it tonight, please, because I could really use to get that money, or get that available so I can do the oil and stone on South Smith and Eddy Road. I broke it all down. Even after doing Meadow Ridge and these 2 small projects, we'll still have $78,000 left. And of course, I'm going to use up the CHIPS money first because that's free money given to us.
Does that 78,000 include the new 22,000 from the governor?
Yes.
Okay.
Did all of you get all of this?
I think Steve only got the front page.
No, I think
I only got the front page.
Guess you should have pulled the staple, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I know you gotta do this when the weather's hot, and that's certainly the
Yeah.
weather we got.
Yeah, we're getting into August. I got it in the schedule for August 2nd. I mean, I could always change it if I had to, but the oil is on our bid. And the stone, I think, is either on our bid or the county bid. And
Well,
the stone,
the oil and stone for South Smith was supposed to be done last year,
yeah,
and Eddy
we ran out of
Road
time.
was supposed to be done last year.
Eddy Road,
Was
I
supposed to be finished.
always wait a year to let because if you put it down too fast with the oil, it won't adhere and hold to the blacktop like it's supposed to.
And this is the best price you could get
Yes.
on all of it.
I'll make a motion that we allow him to proceed. We aren't going to have another meeting before his tentative start date.
I don't feel comfortable even voting on it. I haven't had an opportunity to really review it. I'm not gonna sit here for half an hour and waste everyone's time to sit through and
Isn't that
review
what you
it. And I
suggested
think,
I do earlier in the year?
well, you were given it in advance of time.
Okay.
I was given it before I walked into this room.
I mean, it's all in black and white, self-explanatory right there. Patty, you can hand it a pack and you can read it.
I understand,
It-
but
it's something
I'm
that
a
needs to be
nurse.
done.
I'm a nurse, I'm not like a highway engineer, so it's gonna take me some time to process it. So I don't think you should have scheduled something before getting town board approval. That is
Okay.
part of your job, to get town board approval on your 284. So
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable voting on it.
Anybody else?
No, I made a motion.
I guess
Can
we're
either
gonna
be
have to bring
seconded
it
or-
I'll
back
second
next
Steve's
week.
motion.
I thought we had to have full town board to bring something in at
Excuse
the
me?
end. I thought we had to have full town board to bring it in.
No, it's majority rule.
Majority.
To put it on the agenda as a last minute item, it's majority rule.
I don't know, I think we're gonna have to wait.
This is something that you and I actually discussed, Patty, that you said, you know, that needs to be done. And I said, yes, it does.
But you got this to me 5 minutes ago.
And
I have to
what's
look it
so-
over.
What's there to look over? Everything is the lowest pricing on our bid or the county bid. There's nothing, I'm trying not to throw
And this
any-
is all CHIPS money.
Yes,
And again, it was supposed to be done last year. That one.
Which is all the more reason we should get it done while the opportunity is here.
And this is, you said you can, you'll have this done.
if you want to give me, you know, another 4 or 5 guys and we can get stuff done faster, we will. We only got 4 guys, we can only do so much.
Right now, there's a motion on the floor that's been seconded.
Any more town board discussion?
Well, I just think things like this come up and we have to be
Yeah.
flexible.
I said, and after,
As things come up, we gotta deal with it. Well, you know, it's nice to have more time, but you don't always have it.
I said, even after doing Meadow Ridge, what I put in with the other
Meadow
two
Ridge is
before.
gonna be done by now, by then?
No, this is only a 1-day job. If Meadow Ridge isn't done, I'm getting trucks from, I already got 3 trucks lined up from Dover if I need them. I can get trucks from Mylan. All the towns will work together on doing the oil and stone. Just like I send trucks over to Dover to help them out when they need it. It's a 1-day job.
I mean, this is not surprising. I've been expecting this. I wish it would've come sooner, but
Yeah,
I anticipated us getting it. It's less than 2 miles of road. And like you said, it's a 1-day job. Do them together, get it over with while the weather's hot.
All right.
It's not a tremendous amount of money.
Let me ask you, when did you plan this out to do this? I know you have a date set in August, but like, when, like a
I
week
finally
ago?
got the, where, it says it on there, the date when I got the estimate
Well, that was
from,
June 30th.
yeah.
So you've known since
No.
June 30th?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
But
and
you-
what's your point?
Today's July 21st. So you
And what is
could've-
your point?
So you could have given this to us 2 weeks ago,
And,
or a week ago. Really, our agenda is 1 week prior,
okay, and I didn't.
okay?
And I think we're gonna have to do it because there is de-escalation fees, and we've missed out on a lot of money by waiting this long to begin with. This should have been done,
I'm saving what money? Oil's down.
but you can save money on fuel prices. You could have.
What are you talking about?
That's, you know, that's in the past. I mean, it's not anything we're gonna resolve tonight.
Right,
We have
right.
a
But I'm saying,
project in
we
front
should have
of us
done this
here.
sooner, we have to do it now. So, I'm gonna say we're gonna go with this.
All we need to do is have a vote on it. We've got a motion on the floor that's been seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm just abstaining.
Okay, thank you.
It's you now, Ryan?
Okay, I'll be brief. So for June 2016, the A fund expenditure is $184,004.88. The A fund revenues were $122,556.60. The D fund expenditures were $43,146.68, and there was no D fund revenue. The supervisor and I will be meeting with department heads next month to work out department budget submissions due in September. I attended the Library Advisory Committee meeting to answer questions on the town budget. I'll be attending the next one in March.
No, in August.
In March. Oh, that's in March. In August. Geez.
In August.
In August, yeah. And this needs, signatures of I can send that out overnight mail tomorrow. For the pool class, the
Chemical
two
certification.
parks
good.
guys need to go to, so I'll send that overnight tomorrow.
Gotta get that done.
Yes.
And that's my report.
Okay, Parks and Recreation, I guess we don't have any.
Oh, district's
Did you get anything? No.
good. No.
Recycling. Tom St. Ange could not be here tonight. He's in Potsdam with his daughter for college. So he gave me just something he would like me to read for him. The only household hazardous waste disposal day of 2016 will be held at the Sand Dock Road location on October 29th from 8 to 1:30. The fee is $10 and you must pre-register. Okay, dog control, Steve?
Here it is. 3 lost dogs and 3 found dogs. And 1 complaint, which was settled.
Town clerk, Andrea?
Okay, for certified copies, $230 was collected. For recreation programs, $75,525. The after-school program was $5,270. Equestrian center, $1,666. The recycling compact was $5,280. The refuse bin was $1,539.87, and for dog licenses, $259, totaling $89,837.87 was turned into the supervisor.
Bless you.
That was Ryan.
That was loud.
Okay.
That's really a vote of confidence.
Zoning,
I do like that number.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Zoning, John?
Zoning, I don't believe it, did I hit that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, here it is. Okay, zoning for the month of June. Elizabeth Noonan, PH notice certified, letters, $71.67. Robert Rutledge, area variance application fee, $250. Total revenue for the zoning board in June was $321.67.
Planning, Steve?
Planning. Okay, total of $363.27 was received for legal applications here for the planning board in June of 2016.
Okay, Code Enforcement Officer, Karina?
Okay. From George Kolb, we have completed a rough draft for both the MS4 and ground-mounted solar code amendments. A copy of the draft local law for ground-mounted solar panels has been distributed for your review, which I believe we got at the last meeting. Please relay any questions or revisions as soon as possible. A letter of request to the Town of Unionville Board has been distributed for revisions to the municipal search procedure and fee changes, and that's upcoming at our next town board meeting. Inspections performed, 71. Violation notices issued are 5. Building permits issues are 19. Old permit COs issued are 19. Municipal searches are 13. Complaints received 5. Violations abated 4. Resident meetings 13. Certified occupancy compliance 31. Complaints acted upon 4. Appearance tickets are 0. Fire callouts are 0. And plan review hours are 18.
Okay, constables. I received this. Below is the constable report for June 2016. Constables patrolled approximately 736 miles of town roads for the month, filling the Explorer with 47.4 gallons of gas. The 3 court dates were quite busy, with 46 cases on the docket and 29 actual appearances. There were no incidents to report. Constables reported the following: pool house lights left on 3 nights. Pool house building window and door left open. Pool gate left open. Senior citizens alarm not set. Senior citizens back door left open. Senior citizens front door unlocked. Park office lights on. Upstairs craft room lights on. park office lights on, senior citizens basements lights left on. There was a leaking pipe in the storage room. I was notified, we took care of it as quickly as we possibly could. There was a parking violation issued at Godfrey Park. Garbage was dumped on Burbank Club Road, and 2 disorderly conduct appearance tickets were issued. Media?
So I just want to apologize for having a cable problem. The cable that transmits the switcher to the broadcast has been acting up, I guess you would say. So some of the town board meetings have been playing and some of them have not. So I'm working with Ryan Peterman to correct the situation. We may need to order another cable, but that's why they haven't all been playing. So they are available on the website and of course in the town hall for purchase.
What's the cost of the cable?
Is Ryan working on
I'm here. What's
Oh,
up?
okay. Do you know the cost of that?
Approximate cost of the cable that you need?
Which cable are we referencing here?
The one that's making the switch correspond to the DVD player?
Oh, we're getting rid of that system entirely. I'm done with it.
Oh, okay.
So right now we have an external video switcher that is on a schedule that switches between the camera for when we're doing our meetings, the computer for the slideshow with the audio, and the DVD player that it queues up for the past meetings. There are so many moving parts in this flow that it's just a disaster. So the thing itself is probably from the 80s, the box looks like it, and that's the issue we're having right now, is the computer sending a control to the DVD player through an infrared blaster saying play, and it's not working. So aside from it being such a pain with the issue with the recording this afternoon and everything else, we're bypassing it entirely. I'm going to propose a piece of equipment we're going to get, and everything's going to be recorded to the computer, played back from the computer, no moving parts, 3 pieces of equipment removed.
And what piece of equipment do you need to purchase?
It is a Blackmagic Decklink card. It goes into the computer that allows the camera to talk to it. I think it's about $500 to $700. I don't remember exactly.
Which we still have in our grant money available to us. So
Can we pre-approve that tonight so he can just move forward with this?
Oh,
I
that would
think
be
we could. You have it in that grant money that the Cablevision gave us,
yeah,
so.
and I think we probably don't have to transfer anything because we transferred some extra funding from that other budget line in case something came up. So I'll double check with Ryan Cortine, our bookkeeper, and just see what we would have to do, if anything.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion that we allow him to move forward with the transition.
I'll second it. Town board discussion?
Let's
All
go
in
for it.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right, now we'll have discussions. The State Municipal Facilities Capital Program, it's SAM. There's money out there for us. I was notified by Sue Serino regarding this. Now, what we need to do is discuss what we'd like to spend this money on, and maybe John can move forward with Jill Way to get this grant
Okay.
taken care of. I had a few different things that I thought about that we could use. Replace bridge at Timor Park that we've been talking about for years and years and years and putting it off. The kiddie pool needs to be fixed. The septic system at Timor Parks needs to be fixed.
I think that's one of our highest priorities.
I'd like to pave the parking lot here at the town hall. The road and the parking lot down at the park needs to be done. John wrote back to me that also the roof on the barn could use a new,
Well, we
Shingles or-
patched it, but
Yeah.
that was a short term. It needs a new roof in the very near future.
also the retaining wall and blacktop at the recycling center, and insulation in the walls and the ceiling at
The highway
the highway
garage.
garage and
They
thermal
desperately need
windows.
that.
So, I did go ahead and make arrangements to get prices on blacktop here and down at the park. At some point, maybe next week, I can find out what the septic system is gonna cost. I could get with Jake from maintenance, and he could help me get some of these prices put together, so we can look at what we really, our top priority
What is the
is.
problem with the septic?
They have to pump that tank,
The leach fields are basically non-existent,
yeah,
And that sounds to me like something
Yeah.
that the engineer's gonna have to be involved in.
of course.
right, and with the money we get, the engineering fees would be all included. It's.
I think he's already worked on it in the
I
last
think he
couple of
did,
years.
yeah, I spoke to
So
him the other day
it's not
about
a
it. And I
Brand
think
new
he
issue.
has worked on it.
Right.
So, I mean, we need to prioritize what we wanna spend this money on and
Yeah.
have John move forward with it. Regardless, I think we should get prices on everything I've mentioned, because there may be some money out there
Mm-hmm.
other than this we could use.
And this program doesn't require any matching funds?
No.
No, it's to help taxpayers.
I sent you a copy of this.
I haven't had a
emailed it
chance to
you.
read through it.
So you have copies of this.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe we could get together with Larry,
okay.
see about that septic system,
Mm-hmm,
if we can get everything redone, even get somebody in there to get us an estimate, so we can move forward with this.
yeah.
I don't wanna miss out on this money.
No, we desperately need it.
Okay. The next discussion is the employee handbook, and I believe everyone's been looking through it and working on sections of it. John's taken the other town stuff and looked into that. Karina's been working on it. I've been looking through it. And I believe I did speak to Dave today. He called me from his vacation, just to let me know he's been working on it during his vacation. So I think maybe we should each take a section maybe and work on it and.
That's a good idea.
Well, it's sort of made like a master list. You have like a
Yeah.
purple copy
Yep, I saw that.
of different things Patty and I talked about. And so it started with our employee manual, and then it got more robust by looking at like I think 5 towns might include our town, like 4 other towns. And I sort of like broke it up. Some of those things just are things that need to be in there, like our compliance policies and different things that we already have. So some of these things we already have. But we would need to look at what we already have and make sure like that's the way we want it to stay. If it's, you know, compliance policy, then obviously it is sort of what it is. And we would just reprint it in our new employee manual. If it's like a procedural thing or a operational thing, then we would just want to review and make sure that what our policy is what we want it to say, and then we're going to follow that through in practice. So there's like a bunch of pages. It's certainly not like all-inclusive. Like you may find things even from your own jobs or from other towns that you're like, oh, I think this could benefit us, and we need to include this in our employee manual. But it's sort of just broken down by different topics. I apologize, it's not like there's cross-outs, and it was my handwriting done over lots of different things I did with my kids over the past few weeks.
All right, so, I mean, John's been working on looking at things and jotting stuff down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if we all just take and go through it and write down maybe some of our thoughts and then all get together and discuss those thoughts. I've already done,
Are we each gonna work on a section
no, I
or
think,
or the whole thing?
I think you should go through the whole thing and everyone should have their say in every part of it.
Well, I think maybe next time though, like everyone should have a say. Nobody should be the sole writer. Everybody should have input, but I think maybe we could figure out by the next meeting, like, do we want to break it up by section? Like somebody takes the whole introduction and everything. Another person works on all our policies or compliance policies and things like that.
Well, I'm gonna go through
Or-
it page by page,
Yeah, yeah,
is what
I
I'm
am
gonna
too.
do, and I'm gonna mark it up. I mean, I have a copy of my own, and I'm gonna cross things out, and I'm gonna write things in, what I believe should be in, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna bring it to the rest of the board and say, this is it, and if you guys have things to add to each and every page, but at some point, we're gonna have to go through each and every page and
Yeah,
Well, I think
agreed.
Karina brought out a good point. If we all focus on one area where we really write it to what we think it should be,
Right.
and then as the others hear it or read it, if they want to further change it or enhance it, we can discuss it and do it accordingly, rather than everybody rewrite everything
Right.
and.
Then it might be too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right,
Yeah.
so
But the other way.
as
of
she
doing
wrote it here, take it home, and by the next meeting,
Pick
pick
3 or 5 things or something.
Pick 3
that you're willing
things.
To work on.
that
Okay.
you feel that you're able to work on.
That you're competent in.
Yeah, that
Right.
you know a little bit about this.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right, pool equipment.
Well, as I said, last Friday, I met with Malia, our aquatics director, and there were a couple items that were needed for the pool. We're actually, the recreation director was aware last year when he put in his budget, but then he didn't purchase those items this year. So we actually do have the money in the budget through a maintenance line. And if you look at the very last page, that will give you the gist of what they're really looking for. They need 1 new pool skimmer. So they need 1 replacement rope for the deep, so the dive well, that deep one. And that would be 18 foot. So we could decide how we'd like to do that. The first couple of pages include the rope with the connectors that are necessary, and then the lifeguards could string on the buoys that we already have. The unfortunate part about that is I thought that would be the cheaper route to go because the rope by the foot is so cheap, but those connectors are so expensive. So we actually spend like $35 or so doing it that way. Via Amazon, we can just buy an 18-foot one with connectors and with buoys already in place for $20. Then the lifeguard umbrellas, I don't know if you've noticed when you've been out at the pool, are actually like taped to it. It doesn't have an actual mount. Most lifeguard chairs now actually have the mount in place, so it's actually quite difficult to find a mount that you can put on after the fact. So Jake went down and checked this one out from the Kiefer website, which is a swim resource website. And this one will be able, you see on the bottom, the little tube will actually be able to fit and be mounted on. And so we'd be able to secure those. We would need 2, 1 for each lifeguard stand. Their umbrellas are also ripped, so we would need new pool umbrellas. I pulled some from Kiefer. We use cooling umbrellas because while they're up there, then they're not, it improves their work environment a little bit. And those are $50, $49.95. Amazon has a bunch of different ones at different prices, but they actually are all more expensive than the Kiefer website. They would need a total of 3 umbrellas because they have 1 on each stand and then 1 at the check-in table that when you come in. So total of all of the items would be $531.96. So we have that money in a maintenance line in the budget, but I just wanted to bring that up since we don't have like a current recreation director at this meeting and they really need those items. The rope at deep is basically ripping at the connector, so they don't know when that will give way.
So I think,
Well, even the total amount is underneath the threshold
Right.
yeah,
of
Right.
the procurement policy.
Right.
So, I mean, we don't really need to have board action on this.
right. I think that between the 2 people that we're gonna be putting in place, I think they can take care of this.
Okay. Patty and I just both felt for transparency, without someone in place, we should bring this before the whole board since not everyone was at the meeting I was at. I know I did email you.
Well, thanks for the detail. It looks like a good selection of items.
Yeah. Malia, who's the aquatics director, and Jake both helped in kind of like, is this what you're looking for, you know? And does this work physically?
Okay, the discussion on the LED profit retrofit project equipment lease. Steve already went over that and we discussed that, and Ryan will take care of that tomorrow. I hope he knew that before he left.
Better send him an email.
Yeah.
I'll call, I'll be talking to him. Now, picnic tables for the park. I know this has been going on for the past couple of meetings.
3rd meeting.
This is the third meeting that it's been going on. I did give everyone a copy of the ones that I had looked up online and prices and everything. I spoke to Jake about this. He was going to contact the company and find out if you could clean them.
We have,
Graffiti
apparently for graffiti, we have special wipes, and he believes because of the material this is made of, that they'll work really well, but he just wanted to confirm that with the company, you know.
Which
We're-
ones are we looking at?
The very top one is,
I don't have that picture.
The Barco Boar Square one?
This is, I gave this to you the last meeting.
the last meeting, yeah.
No.
So if you wanna look at mine.
I think that I would recommend over this, the aluminum and galvanized steel tables.
These,
No. This,
hold on,
this style here.
I got that one, okay. For the, you don't think that would burn you when you sat on the bench?
No.
Well, they're under pavilions.
They're under pavilion and it's
No,
it's aluminum color. That reflects light and heat. And they're maintenance free. Galvanized steel and aluminum. They're maintenance free. Any
And that's this whole page, right? Steve?
right. Any graffiti that happens to get on them can be wiped off with chemicals very easily and not damage the material underneath.
Okay, so,
And they're less expensive.
they're less expensive, yes.
Why don't we buy a small amount, see how they are?
Yeah, the only thing I don't see here is the size specified on them. You know, they come,
Is this a handicapped one though?
it says ADA
It says
compliant.
ADA compliant, I think it's
Okay.
just on the ends,
Mhm.
rather than missing, most of them are like missing a side, but I think that is just, you're just supposed to use the ends, I guess.
I guess.
Right, the end, on one end.
And
the
which
tail
ones
probably hangs
did
out
you
a little.
like, the round or this one?
Where are we putting them? We're putting them under the pavilion?
Two of them were gonna be for this
Godfrey, I
park
think.
and two for Godfrey Park.
I think the traditional style is probably gonna be most efficient for, you know, use of the space.
All right, so do you wanna wait until our park and rec director or maintenance person?
I don't have a problem with that either. You know,
Or
she should be on
and
board
let
with this.
them-
Why does it make it a fourth meeting?
Yeah, we might as well make it a
Right.
fourth meeting,
Even it
right?
out, all right.
I mean, it's not
Well,
like
why
we
don't we-
urgently need these.
I would like to fast forward here for a moment
Okay,
and take care of one of these resolutions so we can get some input from the recreation director.
all right, well, the next
Well,
resolution,
This would be buildings and grounds.
okay. And that, do you wanna read this one, Karina, cause you wrote down the numbers?
Resolution appointing temporary interim recreation director. Whereas the Town of Unionville Recreation Director has resigned, and whereas the Town of Unionville needs to appoint a temporary interim recreation director until such time as a new recreation director can be hired. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Unionville hereby appoints Jessica Dickinson to the position of temporary interim recreation director for the Town of Unionville until such time applicants can be interviewed and a new recreation director can be hired.
Second.
Well,
So am I supposed
we
to-
discussed numbers with Jessica, you,
Okay, she will be hired at an increased rate, $5 per hour above her current rate, for a total of yearly salary of $47,840.
I'll second that.
I think we have to have a roll call vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Councilman Welsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly?
Yes.
Supervisor Tompkins?
yes.
And Councilman Frazier?
Yes.
Well, now we have a interim recreation
Now, I
director.
would like to ask the recreation director to come and discuss the picnic tables.
No sense in waiting.
But she hasn't even had a chance to review.
Okay, have you
So
been,
next time,
have you been involved in this or no?
no,
Okay.
no,
Well,
buildings,
I won't put
buildings
you on the
and
spot.
grounds.
I appreciate that, thank you.
All right, I
If it's gone
will,
3 meetings, you can go 4.
I'll get you this information.
Get you up to
Maybe
speed.
by the fall we'll have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time to put it away for storage.
Resolution appointing temporary interim head groundskeeper. It was written wrong. Did I change everybody's?
You changed mine.
Change
Okay.
mine.
Whereas the town of Unionville Park Director has resigned, and whereas the town of Unionville needs to appoint a temporary interim head groundskeeper until such time a new park head groundskeeper can be hired. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby appoints Jake Gosnell to the position of temporary head groundskeeper for the town of Unionville until such time applicants can be interviewed and a new head groundskeeper can be hired. Jake is gonna come on board. He was a 32-hour-a-week person, part-time. He's gonna go to 40 hours a week and he will do it for that.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Town board discussion?
I think he's proven a good job already. I think I'm very optimistic about how he will do here.
Roll call vote?
Okay, Councilman Welch,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson,
Aye.
and Councilman
Aye.
Okay. Approval for application of memorial in the park. So, I think we are going to postpone any memorial application, donation applications for the park until we have a permanent person put in position down there. Due to the policy stating that it's up to the park and rec director, where, say if they're getting a tree, where the tree's going, where it's being purchased from, and what kind of tree it is. So until that time when we can get a permanent person in position, I think we're gonna have to postpone all memorial donation applications. You agree?
I agree.
Steve?
Yep, agreed.
Okay. Okay. Resolution amending employee handbook with regards to health insurance policy. Whereas the town board of the town of Unionville desires to amend the town of Unionville employee handbook with regard to the town of Unionville health insurance policy, and whereas the town board of the town of Unionville desires to amend the required contributions by full-time regular employees, full-time elected officials, and part-time employees of the town of Unionville for the health insurance coverage. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby amends E-22 of the town of Unionville employee handbook entitled health insurance by requiring that full-time employees and full-time elected officials contribute 20% of the premium by payroll deductions, and be it further resolved that part-time employees who work at least 20 hours per week can be covered by an approved health insurance plan with the town board approval by resolution, and if the town board approves the part-time employee, they must make the premium payments by automatic payroll deduction. And be it further resolved that the complete copy of the amendments to the town of Unionville employee handbook regarding health insurance eligibility contribution is attached hereto and made part hereof this resolution. Be it further resolved, the amendment to this town of Unionville employee handbook shall be, I can't read this word, effective January 1st, 2017. And I would like to read the policy. E-22 health insurance. All full-time regular employees and all full-time elected officials of the town of Unionville as defined by the town board of the town of Unionville, are entitled to health insurance coverage using the designated primary insurance carrier. The premium cost of this policy will be as follows. Employee to contribute 20% of the premium by payroll deduction, and the town of Unionville to pay 80% of the premium cost for the designated policy. If a full-time employee or full-time elected official chooses to use an approved health insurance carrier that is not the designated primary health insurance carrier of the town of Unionville, but has been selected by the Unionville Town Board as an approved health insurance carrier for the Unionville health insurance benefit, the full-time employee or the full-time elected official would be responsible for any differential in premium cost between the health insurance premium of the approved health insurance carrier and that they choose, and the health insurance premium of the primary health insurance plan of the town of Unionville. Part-time employees that regularly work at least 20 hours per week can be covered by an approved health insurance plan with town board approval by resolution. The part-time employee that seeks to be covered by a health insurance plan that has been approved by the town of Unionville Town Board must apply to the town board for such coverage, and if the town board approves, the part-time employee must make the appropriate premium payment by automatic payroll deduction. The Unionville Town Board may, at its sole discretion, change health insurance carriers by offering an alternative health insurance plan. An employee, elected official, or retired employee shall be able to select the designated primary insurance plan or one of the other approved health insurance plans. But if one of the alternate approved health insurance plans is chosen, the employee, elected official, or retired employee will be responsible to pay any difference in premium cost between the designated primary health insurance carrier and the premium cost of the health insurance carrier that they have chosen. And this payment will be deducted by an automatic payroll deduction from the employee and elected officials and billed to retired employees on a monthly basis. So,
I'll second it.
town board discussion?
I haven't had a chance to look at this or what you have in front of you there. These came out about mid-afternoon, and with my work schedule, I didn't have an
I
opportunity to
sent
read
this to you Monday.
No, the resolution I'm speaking of.
The resolution, exactly.
And since it doesn't start until 2017, I'd like additional time to study this.
Well, I need to get this done because I'm starting to work with the insurance carriers, and we need, and budget planning with Ryan, and I need to plan all this out, and I can't wait on this. I mean, you were fine with Mr. Wisman bringing the 284 in.
That was a different
5
situation. This is going to have an impact on all of our employees, and I would like to look into that. And again, this doesn't take effect until 2017, where Mr. Wisman's proposal takes effect August 2nd. There's quite a bit of difference between the two. And I would like additional time to
Again,
study.
I gave this to you on Monday. I gave
It came
you,
out this afternoon.
no, I sent you this health insurance. and
The
told you that-
resolution came out this afternoon,
And I told you that we were gonna have a
ago.
resolution on it. I told you that Monday, I gave you this. This says the same thing this says, and we're voting on it. I have a second. Roll call vote?
Okay, Councilman Welsh,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Supervisor Tompkins,
Aye.
and Councilman Fraser.
Nay.
Okay, John, you wanna read this one?
Yeah. Okay. Resolution authorizing payment of purchase orders. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the payment of all general fund claims and highway fund vouchers as set forth in the abstract number 7 of 2016, which is available in the town clerk's office, and authorize the town supervisor to make all payments.
I'll second that.
Okay? Roll call vote again?
Town board discussion?
Okay, Councilman Walsh,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Supervisor Tompkins,
Aye.
and Councilman Frazier.
Aye.
Okay, public comments on non-agenda items? Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Adjourned.
Next meeting is August 2nd, right? Fourth.
August 4th,
Fourth,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
August 2nd in your brain.
Yeah. Okay.